Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. VA disability for migraines. What is the maximum amount you can get for it? And look, it does not matter if your migraines are your service-connected primary condition or if your migraines are a secondary condition to say, let's say tinnitus, right? So migraines secondary to tinnitus. You're going to have the same maximum payout level, and that maximum payout level is substantial and could absolutely boost your overall VA rating potentially up to the 100% and even become static and get you to that 100% permanent in total, which is oh so coveted. So let's jump into it. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. The two asks really are, look, hit the thumbs up, doesn't cost a nickel. The longer that you let this run, the more that it gets into the hands of other folks, which is also helpful. If you can, great. If you can't, that's fine too. I get it. The other piece here, I did start a joint co-hosted channel with some long form video that we do once a week on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific time. That rolls out on Mondays at 5 p.m. or 2 p.m. depending on what side you're on, or in the middle, then split the difference, right? And then there's breakout sessions every other day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we skip the weekend for you. So please check that out. That's Veterans Daily. All right, so let's jump back into this. VA disability for migraines. What is the maximum amount? How much can you get for it? This is an article. I'm going to read through this, see if we can pick up any nuggets along the way. And then I also pulled up the rating schedule from the VA for migraines. So I'll jump into that and give you the specific four ratings that can be assigned with the specific criteria for each one of those four ratings for migraines. So VA disability for migraines, let's jump into it. Migraines are a debilitating headache, worse than normally experienced by the majority of people. Migraines are no fun. The Veterans Affairs Department offers benefits for those suffering with migraines, provided they were not dishonorably discharged from service. But how much can a claimant get? It is quite a sizable amount of money for the highest available category of 50%. Now, I did not pull up the dollar figures for the 2024 year. So I don't know if they have this right or if this is old. We'll find out. This awards up to $1,075.15 as a basic monthly income, whilst this can increase if the veteran is in question has dependents. So they're saying that this would be for the veteran alone at 50%. And again, I don't know if this is for the 2024 year or not. I guess somebody can chime in the comments. The payment for 30% is approximately $586.31 per month without any dependents. If the veteran has dependents, then it's due to increase. The payment for the lowest paying group of 10% is $171.23 per month and does not change regardless of dependents, because what they're talking about here is they're assuming that this is your only rating with the VA. And if you have less than 30%, a 10 or a 20 or a 0 for your overall rating, then you cannot add dependents. You have to get over the you have to get to the 30% mark in order to add dependents and bump the pay. So the lowest paying group is 10% for $171.23 per month and does not change regardless of dependents. The latter category may not seem like that much money, but if the person is unable to work due to migraines, then they might as well claim the extra help. So how hard is it? Now, they left out the 0% rating. Okay, so I pulled up and again, I'm going to jump into the VA's rating schedule to read the criteria for each one of those percentages. So you have a 0%, 10, 30, and 50. The 0%, albeit it's never fun to get a 0. However, zeros are wins. For this example, let's say that you do have a 0% migraine situation. If your migraines get worse, it's much easier to file for an increase as your migraines get worse versus trying to file a whole new claim. So let's move on. How hard is it to get VA disability for migraines? To qualify, the migraine must be strong enough that a person suffering them has to go and lie down for an extended period of time and be unable to continue with their current task. Well, that's pretty much migraines, right? You're doing nothing else but trying to make the pain subside. Usually it's going to be a dark room, a quiet place, a cold place, and probably not actually laying down because your heart feels like it's going to pound through your head. So usually you'll be at a kind of maybe an incline, or at least for me. So to complete the claim, a person may need to attend a C&P exam, that's compensation and pension exam, or fill out a disability questionnaire, which there is a DBQ for migraines. There are expected to be they are expected to be open and honest about their struggles. Doing so increases their chances of a higher rating. So the rating depends on the severity and frequency of the migraines in order to be approved. The maximum rating for VA disability claim for migraines is 50%, with 0% being the lower end of the scale. Let's break it down. A 50% disability rating is given for very frequent, completely prostrating and prolonged attacks productive of severe economic inadaptability. That is from the schedule of ratings. That means that if migraines occur more than once a month and they force a person out of work, they could be eligible. Okay, that's very important. So what I look at with the severe economic inadaptability is, look, do you have to leave work? You know, if you get a migraine in the middle of the day, are you staying at work? Probably not. And even if you are staying there, you're laying down in a closet or something, or you're out in your car. You are not at work, even if you're physically there. You have taken yourself away from work. In some cases, this becomes non-paid leave, which could, in my opinion, result in a severe economic inadaptability. A 30% rating is given for characteristic prostrating attacks occurring on an average of once a month over the last several months. So if the claimant has more than 12 per year, then they could be eligible for the 30% category. A 10% rating is given for characteristic prostrating attacks averaging 1 and 2 months over the last several months. Meaning that if the person has 6 migraines per year, then they might be eligible for this group. A 0% rating is given if prostrating migraines occur less than once every 2 months. Visiting a doctor is a good way to increase your chances. If you can acquire a record of treatment for migraines, ensure that you begin documenting the intensity and frequency of them to validate your claims, because the wording above is intentionally vague. You can consult with an attorney throughout the process to ensure your paperwork and case are both sound and correct, although my suggestion is always work with an accredited veteran service representative who can help you for free until you're at the point of, going to, let's say, an appeal with the board or something like that, something more, I guess, strategic. Now, here's the thing. The way you can prove the amount of migraines more than just stating I have migraines, once a week, easy. How you can, I guess, prove that with evidence is if you have a prescription medication from your doctor for your migraines and you refill that prescription that has however many tablets in it, you can show the frequency of renewing that prescription and how many tablets you had in that specific prescription. Then you can do the math and you can come up with your on average for the VA and provide that as evidence. That will help you. You can also utilize the DBQ with your doctor and have your doctor fill that out, ideally with you there, so you could tell them what you want to get put in that DBQ, because again, remember, garbage in is garbage out. So you want to make sure that you're being very strategic with your information being put into the DBQ. Now, again, a 30% rating, for example, with characteristic prostrating attacks occurring on average once a month over last several months. So what's the several months, right? Several months is what, 3 or 4 months? So if you have 4 migraines in the last 4 months, then you have the characteristic or the requirements met for a 30% rating. And then it's up to you, right? To get that put together with a DBQ as evidence from your doctor would be awesome. And if you had to get a prescription refilled in that time frame to show the number of tablets taken for your migraines, then you have that knocked out. The only big difference between a 30% and a 50% is really that economic inadaptability aspect. So you want to make sure that if you believe that you're in that realm, that you really hammer home on that point. And if you have any evidence on that, whether it's let's say on your pay stub it shows that you're short of your 80-hour paycheck, right? Because you had to take non-paid time off. That type of stuff goes a long way. Especially if you have to push it to the board. The board seems to look at that stuff a little more, I guess, favorably for you. So you could show that you've had short hours, that you've utilized non-paid time off, or you've completely exhausted all of your sick leave. That you have a late notice on a bill, you have an eviction notice, you have a power, electricity, or gas shutoff notice. Those types of things show economic inadaptability, and that can be used to help get you that 50% for migraines. So make sure that you utilize that if you do have those types of situations. So with that, we'll go ahead and conclude it there. I appreciate you so much. Have a great one, and remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.